Right, hello everyone. I am Ken Williams, staff actuary here at the CAS. And as you well know, for over 100 years, the CAS has been a leader in expertise, credibility, and professional integrity in the property casualty industry. Our associate and fellowship designations are unmatched in terms of their rigor, integrity, and relevance, and they're well respected in the industry. That said, we constantly need to be evolving our certification. In September 2021, we released the Admissions Transformation Plan. This is re-envisioning the way the CAS approaches its admissions programs. We are enhancing our long-standing professional certification to adapt to industry best practices and be able to respond more quickly to changes within both the insurance industry and the certification industry, while maintaining our CAS credential as the gold standard for P&C actuaries. As part of that, we have partnered with ACS Ventures to help us make those changes. So I'd like to introduce to the CAS membership and candidates, Chad Buckenhall and Susan Davis Becker from ACS Ventures. So Chad, I'll start with you. Could you tell us about yourselves and how an organization like yours can help the CAS?
Sure, thanks, Ken. As Ken said, my name is Chad Buckenhall. My background is as a psychometrician. What that means essentially is that we have professional training in psychology and research design and statistics. Our backgrounds are largely working with a variety of programs from anywhere from education, pre-K through adult learners in the achievement area, and then in the professional licensure and certification area, we work with a number of well-known professions, dentists, attorneys, architects, and actuaries.
Hi, I'm Susan Davis Becker. I am also a psychometrician, as Chad described. Again, our background is working with these types of programs. We're not experts in the fields per se, but we are experts in how these programs are designed and developed.
So you mentioned the word psychometrics. Can you explain a little bit more what psychometrics is?
Sure. I like to explain psychometrics as the kind of the science and practice of testing and measurement. So when we think about how do we determine what someone knows or is able to do, psychometrics is the science and math underlying so much of that because it really does combine psychology and math. How do we get to what's in someone's brain, and then how do we quantify that and turn it into some type of interpretable value?
Great. So far, how have you helped the CAS? You've been working for us for a little more than a year. How have you helped the CAS apply some of the standards for education psychological testing so far, and then what are the plans for the future?
Well, the standards for educational and psychological testing are kind of the professional guidelines for the testing industry, and they are inclusive of education, clinical and employment tests, and professional licensure and certification. What we've been doing in our partnership with CAS started, again, a little more than a year ago with a program evaluation in which we interacted with some of the volunteer committees, for example, like the syllabus committee and some of the working groups, in order to get a sense for what's been going on in the development and validation of the examinations within the ACAS and FCAS programs. And then from that, we have been working to then help make some incremental changes to the program based on just trying to bring some of the practices in line with those professional standards.
Our impression so far has been that CAS wants to do a very good job in serving their stakeholder groups. So we're able to have these opportunities to gather input from so many different volunteer and stakeholder groups to determine, what is that roadmap forward? What are the opportunities there for innovation and to move the program forward with these opportunities for improvement?
Great, thank you. The CAS has had a long-standing group of dedicated volunteers who work to build the exams. How does your work at ACS Ventures align with the current work of the volunteer teams?
Sure. So as I mentioned at the outset, so psychometricians, we are kind of by definition generalists. Some people will say that if you're reading a professional journal article, the part of the article that you skip over is the part that we do. So it's the research design, it's the methodology, it's the analysis of the data. And so what that means is when we work with professional organizations, again, whether it is dentists, architects, attorneys, actuaries, we don't have the underlying subject matter expertise necessary to like build exams out by ourselves. We can provide a structure and a framework and the underlying science for how we go about doing that. But it is critically important to have dedicated subject matter expertise through volunteers and people who are not only familiar with the subject knowledge, but also familiar with the sort of knowledge, skills, and abilities associated with how the job is performed in practice. And so our job is to kind of facilitate and work with subject matter experts to ensure ultimately that the examinations that CAS produces are valid, reliable, and fair for everybody who take it.
That's great to hear, Chad. I mean, at the CAS, it's our goal to provide high quality, fair exams. So it's great that you're working with us. I'd like to thank Chad and Susan for their time and their introductions here. If you'd like to learn more about the Admissions Transformation Plan, you can go to the Admissions Transformation Plan site on the CAS website. Within that site, there's an opportunity to provide feedback and ask questions. So we encourage you to use that. Thank you.